fishermen, no local, no answer my. I watch it. You will for Belgium, 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 it will be a Belgium, 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 it will do a Belgium, 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 why you're why round what? Why you're why round what? Why you're why round what? Why you're super why round what? It will for Belgium, 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 it will be a Belgium, 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 it will do a Belgium, 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 it will do a Belgium, Belgium, Belgium. Why you're why round what? 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 Yeah, we papa no, what one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no, what one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no, what one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no, what one is the motto? Why round what? Why you're why round what? I want it. Original. Why round what? Why you're why round what? Why you're why round what? Why you're why round what? Yeah, we papa no, what one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no, what one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no, what one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no, what one is the motto? Why round what? Why you're why round what? I want it. Original. I will for Belgium, I want me to Belgium. Where you mind don't grumble. Yo, we are best fishermen. No, look for them. No answer, my. I watch it. You will for Belgium Pan. It was better Belgium Pan. It was two Belgium Pan. Why you're here? Why round what? Why you're here? Why round what? Why you're here? Why round what? Why you're here? Super, why round what? It was for Belgium Pan. It was better Belgium Pan. It was two Belgium Pan. It was the Belgium Pan. Why you're here? Why round what? 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 Yeah, we papa no. What one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no. What one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no. What one is the motto? Yeah, we papa no. What one is the motto? Why round what? Why you're here? Why round what? I want it. Original. I will move for Belgium Pan. I want me to Belgium Pan. Where you mind them from back?
All right. All right, good evening and welcome to With All Due Respect Extended Version. My name is Kevin Akobedu Taylor. It's exactly 5 p.m. U.S. East Coast time. It's definitely 9 p.m. in Ghana. If you're watching me tonight, I would like to say thank you very much for tuning in. My production team, they are on standby, making sure everything is on point. This is an emergency show. We're supposed to start the show an hour before we actually put notice out that we're not going to have a show today. But this is a very important show that we need to have tonight. That's why you see me on your screens. We are live on Loud Silence TV, on Multi-TV tonight across the world. We are in 22 African countries, including Ghana. We are also live on Loud Silence TV on Facebook. We are live on Loud Silence TV on YouTube, Loud Silence TV on a radio. So if you're watching me tonight, tonight we are not streaming on TikTok. I think we will start streaming on TikTok from tomorrow. We have a little challenge on TikTok tonight. So we're not live on TikTok tonight. We're here to discuss a simple thing, not that simple, complex, and also groundbreaking. As we all know from the caption or the flyer you are seeing on the screen, Anas Arimyao Anas, investigative journalist we all know around the world, has won a case against Agyapong in the United States of America. And this particular topic is very important to me because I have been in the same position before. And most Ghanaians don't know how it feels like when you are able to fight for other people, for other people's voice to be heard. That is the other part of such I would say experience. Tonight, we will have the privilege to speak to one of the lawyers of Anas Arimyao Anas. His name is Evans Selassie Adika Esquire. He is going to brief us on what actually happened or how it started, and how we ended up here. So if you're watching me tonight, this is a breaking news. Agyapong has lost against Anas Arimyao Anas on the same defamation case we have been seeing go in and out of our courts in Ghana. So tonight we will hear from one of the lawyers of Anas. His name is Evans Selassie Adika, one of the most established lawyers who led Anas to the court in New Jersey to win this case. It's just 12 minutes. We have 3,673 people on YouTube. On TV, everybody is glued to their set. On radio, people are listening. On YouTube, on Facebook, all platforms are blazing. So if you're here tonight, I'd like to say welcome to the most authoritative, most listened to platform on the planet right now. Tonight, we're doing law, we're doing court, we're doing Kennedy Agyapong, Anas Arimyao Anas. If you're here tonight, if this is your first time, remember that I've been in court with Kennedy before here in the United States, the DC, Virginia area. I won against Kennedy Agyapong. He was asking for 9.5 million in damages. Now he's paying over 18 million, close to 30 million in damages to Anas Arimyao Anas. He has the right to appeal this case. And then see if he can maybe pay 28 or 17 or maybe 30, maybe 29.5 or 18.9 or $1 million, you know. We're going to take it easy. We're going to take it cool. We want Ghanaians to understand what has actually happened. Say, Oshemo Ghana and then Yumbria. Yempese, Yebemana show so because Eba court in Sama, Ayana in Sembebre, and Nipa Bintiasie. And in Yumbrimina Butra, Mema Ghana for Tiasia say, a investigative journalist will be animal we are say Afanena, Anas Arimyao Anas for about 3 years in the Kennedy Agyapong, our court, our America. Because say Imra Kennedy de me court, and I think the same time and Anas so a day a year. Kennedy court ever defamation or say Anas ding e can in some eto Anas so Anas Arimyao Anas ehun say I was say also obi atena asem say in some Kennedy e kafa na ho no enya no kre. A lot of things were said, a lot of allegations were made, and Anas wanted the allegations proven in court for the world to know that all the allegations that were made against him Anas in some e kato no so no sebio na no kre bi enim, and that he has been diligent and clean in his job. And that whatever Kennedy Agyapong aka ana eye ewo Ghana and in some as a member of parliament, then they were all lies, and that he was using the privilege he had, being a member of parliament, being a lawmaker to intimidate and force people to believe what was not there. Kennedy Agyapong can send me briefer Anas Kennedy Agyapong chere we has say Anas edibone Anas ediewu Anas aya nyome bia sebio Ghana fo nyina entwa yeni enkwhwe se Anas eni pabone ni Anas hu se asem no wo se onya nchiremu pa na Kennedy enya inginaso ema wiase nyina hu se sebio ne dwuma a odi no enye nipa bi ho tante na odi dwuma no na emom se ewiase ebehu se nokre sebio dwuma ye nyina yedi eyekote beka ana se journalism ana nhwehwemu journalism no sebio omfa adwene mu bone na eye nti osa Catcher Kennedy or catcher no so obepenchire mu ye free Kennedy ho. If you say na court e wo Ghana no na nyoma bi a omo kire wo Ghana no na emu nhira nda ho. Imbre bi me ka asem bi ha. I came here and I spoke on this matter when Kennedy Agyapong was in court with Anas Arimyao Anas. At a point, screamed at the judge, insulted the judge, cursed Anas and warned and did everything in court. But at the end of the day, the judge who sat or who was basically presiding over the case made that just pass under the bridge. These were things that we were raising concerns about how the judiciary in Ghana, most of the judges, how transparent they are and how honest they are in their deliberation. Yatena ha kan sembe bre chechire mu dwudwe mu Ghana for ti say your court no and your judicial system, the way it's being run no, majority of Ghanaians who want justice, no, they might have to leave Ghana and go seek justice out somewhere because it is looking like our judges, our court, and let me just not make it judges. Our judiciary was looking very tainted that we thought it was. And this is another case that is proven, say, Ghana for can we trust our judiciary fully? I am a living example of what actually happened. Kennedy Agyapong, basically because what's not Ghana, it me bullying for court. Sebio omutumi use judges be Kennedy Jina Chief so edidi judge atem kaso ekwasia or one judge or threatening a life. Still, nothing happened. Enini Yeboah was the Chief Justice then. They just told Kennedy to please don't do that, tone down. Kennedy walked. So at a point, Kennedy became very, very powerful in his head because he felt, say, he can even insult and threaten a judge on TV, and the Chief Justice then, Enini Yeboah, would just call him and say, we are sorry for insulting us. So Kennedy became very powerful, even in court, Kennedy was showing the manhood, letting people know that he controls the court in Ghana. And it's not just Kennedy Agyapong. It is the consistency it's from our politicians and people with a little bit of wealth and power in Ghana, how they are able to maneuver, how they are able to manipulate, how they are able to infiltrate and use the little influence they have in Ghana to decide how cases go in Ghana. And I kept saying to Ghanaians to say, Sibia Emra etie ewo eye America, any other countries they uphold the judicial system and the rule of law. No? In Ghana, no, it is looking like everything falls short. And that is something we have been talking about over the years. Now, Ababa Bedrua say, a member of parliament, a lawmaker, twice in the United States of America, has lost the case in the US. And how difficult was this? It was all about proving your case, putting your facts on the table for a judge who is reasonable and rational to make a decision. That's all. If you're a judge, you are not supposed to look at where the person is coming from, who he represents, the kind of position they have. It is about the law and what the law says and how people are able to prove their cases. Every day I was on our judges, on our judiciary, and at a point I was on some of our journalists. Even when journalists go out there, put their life on the line or their lives on the line, win cases, go through a lot. We get journalists in Ghana who connive with politicians, connive with people with power to suppress sometimes they are too Ahmed Swaleh be murder journalists. I remember when the PDS issue by Gabi Ochredakun Echo Court, a journalist called our friend Samolata Mensa of City News or City FM or Channel 1 News. He was the one who went to court to say Gabi Ochredakun witness, and that the court should listen to him, the journalist. Remember, when I did the PDS story, I brought documents to prove Gabi Ochredakun audio. I brought documents to prove that Gabi is a criminal and that he was caught on tape discussing Ghana Yesikasem. And so a journalist in Ghana called Samolata Mensa went to court and said he was Gabi's witness and that whatever I said was a lie, a fellow journalist. So now you see where we are. We need to protect everyone. It is not about me. It is not about Nas. It's about you walking on the street. Because Nas has a lot of influence around the world. And see how he's being suppressed. He was being suppressed in Ghana. They were pressing his neck. Even though he had the opportunity to speak, they did everything possible to press his neck. Anas is more powerful than 90% of you Ghanaians watching me. There are so many countries Anas will go a presidential treatment. They will not give you. But see how our court treated Anas. See how it is still treating Anas. See how, at the end of the day, being patriotic and trying to serve your nation, how it turns out to be, because we, the citizens, don't even understand. Because the Kennedy, Anas or Ghana, none of us or the Yemeno, you bet me the diwo. Now, with all due respect, won't put the uni a pen a kasem. With us, at least we have a voice. So we need to get serious as a people. This clearly shows to say we need to seriously look at our judiciary in Ghana. We need to look at our courts. We need to look at our judges. We need to look at the whole judicial system. It is sick. And this goes back to the conversation, say, the new government, do they need to overhaul the judiciary? Yes, we will have this conversation after we have this interview with a lawyer, Evans Salasi Adeka. After this short break, I will put a lawyer on. He will explain to us how it started and how it ended. He is going to let us know case details. I don't know how good his tree is, but I know so when to me tree more, I'll do my best to do the breakdown after speaking to him. So I'm going to make a quick turn. When I come back, I will get lawyer on the line for us to have the conversation. You're still watching With All Due Respect Extended Version. My name is Kevin Akobedu Taylor.
The NPP cannot be underestimated. They've been in existence for a long time and have been changing their names up till this day. The nature of who they are. Listen. Munjie, the nature of who they are, what they are, where they've come from, is something they are
Hello?
happy with,
Okay, hold on.
and they will be there for a long time. Let's not mimic their behavior. Let us reach into the.
All right, welcome back to the show. You're still watching With Audio for the extended version. We have Anas' lawyer, one of his representatives or his counsels, Evans Selassie Adeka. He's on the line to speak to us on this very matter. Good evening, lawyer.
Good evening, Kevin.
Thank you very much. My first question to you is a very difficult one. You speak English. You speak from your name, Selassie. You speak ever like me, Melakope. Do you speak the Akan language?
Yes, please. I speak.
Good.
Tree. Yeah.
It makes it easy for you and easy for me too. Good evening and welcome back to the show. Today, we got news that Anas Arimyao Anas, Oye Ghanani, Oye investigative journalist, his work, over the years, he has gone through a lot of court appearances, in Ghana and also in the United States. And the Abetin say Kennedy Agyapong or former MP. A few years ago, announced the investigative piece by na FA football home GFA, and at the end of the day, Nyoma Bibrisi, one of his colleagues or any investigations near the day, Ahmed Swale, FMU, Ehre. After that, series of Nyama Esi, a lot of information about out from Kennedy Agyapong, a lot of allegations that were made against Anas. Say it wouldn't crumple Ahmed Swale, at the point Kennedy was insinuating on radio and on TV, say Anas Nimhubi. A lot of things were said by Kennedy Agyapong. He even went further to have a whole documentary session at his premises. Or Tunidin, who watches The Watchman, Obo video, trying to create the impression that whatever Anas put out initially as the original documentary, he has the original tapes that were hidden and all that. Now, fast forward, Anas felt to say there was a lot of allegations made. He thought he needed to clean himself because of the reputation he carries and also his work or ended up in New Jersey in a court. To make it easy for us, we are one of the lawyers for Anas, and I want to state again, Udini Evans Selassie Adeka, renowned lawyer. Bepacho, can you run us through how it started and how we got to know today, say, a judgment in the New Jersey court, Abba?
Okay, Mr. P. The interesting thing is, I quite remember that you were sued in the U.S. sometime in 2021.
Yes. And
that actually caused my clients to begin inquiring about possibly if there was anything out there, whether it will be actionable in the U.S. Mm. So you have some significance to today's events. So shortly after, when you were going through your motion to dismiss, we actually took a keen interest in that case and reviewed all the pleadings. Mm. And during that time also, my client informed me of a video that was circulating on social media. I just say, and someone just like what kind about my client. So, like, as the intellectuals that we are, we started opening the books and try to see where we can lay a claim. And so, interesting enough, after reviewing the video, in our training, there's something that we are taught. So, in your case, it has to pass the test, and the case has to stand on all fours, which means that you do an analysis of whether there's jurisdiction in place, whether you have all the elements of each claim that you want to bring, So we went through all of that, and my conclusion was yes, on the basis of video now, my client is send them, you so it we back court New Jersey. Yes, and say ya papa no video no so ya papa na nenum nsam kire say o kase fi ni fie New Jersey. Now unim say ye Courtroom for so no the diaspora is very important. Obviously, what you do is testament to that fact. And there was an audience that he spoke to. We're Ghana for. They all take a keen interest in the happenings in Ghana, especially the politics in Ghana. So we thought, there was solid grounds for us to be in the court in New Jersey. So I advised my clients accordingly. Now, we say, a lawyer. So obviously, he was an integral part of what was going on in the preparatory stage. At that time, I am a U.S. trained lawyer, but I currently only practice in Ghana. And there was a team of us. I'd like to say congratulations to my learned colleague Oded Crow. He was a part of yes, he was counsel of record in Ghana. So I put him into the research, and we drafted a complaint, and like a lawyer. So we did the work, and he actually filed it himself. So after the preliminary back and forth, initially the case was we sued in 2022.
Okay. Yes.
We filed suit sometime, I think.
The complaint.
Yeah, sometime, I think, in the summer of 2022.
May 17th, 2022.
Yes. And by law, there was a period by which Yapapano Anka was or responded with what is known as an answer. So Yapapano filed a response, and my case no call into default. Now, after a period of default, you can actually go for judgment. Now, a case near Fale, we filed on 3 counts. But I couldn't say a chrome or a chrome 4. The second one was or you would in terms of Onuna or behind the medal of Yenuya Ahmed Swale.
Yeah.
Now, the third one, so say Yenuya no a serial killer in terms of Chinese for Bibi Ghana. And then the fourth one is or a criminal. The blanket word criminal. And then the fifth one by implication, behind Woody Sembiana, that means say Abiana and no a trigger man and also will be and I say perform the physical act that led to the foreseeable events, which is Obi a. So we also included a count that he is that he claims that my client a co-conspirator in multiple serial killings. So that was basically the gravamen of our complaint. And when it went on undefended after the response time, now we began to make preparations to move for judgment. But being that I was in Ghana and we are all based in Ghana, we reached within our network and we partnered with 2 brilliant lawyers who I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate. Atawemega Esquire, he was the father figure of the team of lawyers, and a brilliant trial lawyer by the name of Andrew Dehere. These are all brilliant Ghanaian lawyers on this case. And at that point, we recruited them as counsel of record, and the case went. At that point, Kennedy's lawyers came in, obviously because near Beji judgment for the full $30 million. And so he had counsel, and counsel came and also did his thing. Reopen default, they argued that they had a solid defense, and I think right around then, and I almost got judgments from Ghana, release it. And I know so say defense to case
because
New Jersey.
We need Ghana, so our case no
exactly.
In terms of no case. Okay.
So as defense against, but the interesting thing is that defamation sits here say kind of the work for court. It's a separate case.
Yeah.
It's not to mean to Ghana and from the defending way. You still have to prove the truth of it. And this time, in this jurisdiction, the law is the same essentially because Ghana Yemra no yemra, but you sound so emra ye free other countries. There are certain times that even though any of presidential value, I just said dead into me so India but obi to me the two who na senior or the two more, especially in cases maybe you decided that type of a case. And Emrano is the same as Ghana. Procedurally, there are certain nuances. Sometimes in terms of certain dates, you have to do certain things by. And also in New Jersey, Emra drafted complaints. We were fully aware that we were required to prove what we were claiming by a higher standard than in Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes. In this case, and not even that. In this case, we were required to prove our case not by the normal civil standard, but by a clear and convincing evidence standard. Okay. And they responded with that, and they were able to successfully reopen the default, which paved way for them to file an answer. And they filed an answer which essentially claimed that there was some sort of back and forth between him and Anas. And we took it for what it's worth, and we forged on. And we finally got our trial date sometime earlier this year, and it was postponed. And then we finally went to trial last Monday. We started trial on Monday, and we put up our case. My client testified. He testified. He brought other witnesses, and after listening to both sides. Senior Krumano. Answer na ever try case the difference between what happened with Ghana and see Johannes said trial by jury and judge or judge back one I say judge me I say judge me and send a bit but normal people among the streets of New Jersey, tax-paying citizens, and two and from. In this case, we started off with veneer. That's the technical word for when the prospective jurors are brought in. We are from a veneer. The veneer of 60 citizens, tax-paying citizens of the state of New Jersey, specifically Newark, New Jersey, and its surroundings, were brought in, and after what is known as Boadaya, which is the process by which they are questioned to see if they have any sort of bias or anything that will stand
for Ghana for your vetiomo. Say
yeah, vetiomo. Vetiomo just said obinim asemu hu bia na so onimu bia asemu we fan ho ana say obi wo hwa bia nyame bi osom no. So we went through all of that. That was day one. That took from area to the end of the day. And so on Tuesday, we came to court and we had our opening statements. They had their opening statements. And then we proceeded to put on our evidence. And at the close of the evidence, the jury was instructed, judge, in this case, judge, Emrano. Na Omodiama, jury, no make church making first. No so paper inside. Aqua decide the different deliberations. Me but me just say okay. Okay. And there are some more about Thursday about 4:30. Yeah, the church room running now, and there are some more 4:30. Into now, I say we be an 4:30. Court Courtroom right around that time, which is I believe consistent with the practice in I know it's consistent with the practice in Ghana. Into no, I just so you be at Nana, take a deep breath and reflect on what has transpired during the past 4 days. And about 20 minutes later, we got word that the jury. So as part of the defense, I think it's only fair that a charges counts now the buy and the civil claims now the buy. His defense was also although Oka said it was some sort of just based banter between him and Union, he came to court and asserted truth as his defense. And so
time I caught say counting na mode bono no no say on it and us back and forth, right? The only claim or make it. Or say a banter, I just say we can't wait internet and share or no, they're not all can you say ubi to be more almost tomorrow.
But oh, you do court media. That was not.
And your son of okay, Ura court no G2.
Yeah, be or maintaining the position say no can originate or that standing by no kind.
Okay.
Basically, remember just or practice no crane di no on your body be.
Okay.
So to support that, no, or the move you try your internet to who watches a watchman. But the announced by as on only defense, and so the jury had the opportunity to evaluate that and factored that in the analysis. And obviously, it was not the weight that they wanted the jury to accord with. So jury never bugui. About 20 minutes later, the jury came back with a verdict, and there were the multiplicity of very quick. And there was a multiplicity of questions that were posed to the jury. That's the way how they arrived at the decision. It's and also unanimous. People who were picked off the streets of not picked off the streets of New Jersey, but they're from based on address, voter registration data. And but within 20 minutes, they saw through everything and said no. So they came back and there was not even one juror that sided with Yapapana Samuakam.
All against
8-0 on every count and on every question that was posed to the jury, including damages now about no Biedun Komono. And also there was a unanimous decision. I just say it was a solid decision of the jury. 20 minutes said there was no doubt in our presentation to what you kind of lay people. These are not experts in the law.
Yeah, they are just
these are lay
people who just sat and used their common sense to come to a conclusion.
No. I would not say use their. I would not say use their common sense.
They listen to you and they listen to the other part. It makes sense though.
And then the law is the law. No judge in this world has any power to bend the law. That sort of conduct is what causes strife and war in places.
Yeah.
America had the judge actually before the judge read kind jury instruction, but catch jurors and say, "Oh no, only to be a and that's how it went. But you know what's interesting about Nisi and or a lawyer contrary, even though people don't give him credit for that.
At least Bonidina Anas Asemna working.
But you Anas, Anas. Or also a very astute lawyer, you be a dreamer. And and some people walk cry a car on Jintumu, but sometimes a team of legal team to we come to a compromise. Now, he has been adamant about clearing his name because I have a personal experience of understanding. It's one of the worst things that can happen to someone.
Yeah.
And he absolutely took the position. Say he wanted a trial. He's not interested in any settlement. He's not here for the money. He's here to clear his good name that he has built over time. And in his profession, at this time, Anka also started doing one. So he always maintained that he wanted a trial to the point where sometimes there was a disagreement in the legal team. Now, procedurally, America, peace. Schedule say, and from this time to this time, staff that work out we are dedicating it to your case. It's no small matter.
I know. I've been there. It's not easy.
Before they will go to trial, there's mandatory settlement conference. I better say maybe by this time we'll be say grown or they'll commit to the rights and senses and decide say this shouldn't go on because yes. And I acquire, unfortunately, me, Anas disagreed with me, but I prepared a settlement memorandum that sought to settle this case for $18 million. just like the jury came back. As you know, these days we have all kind of tools that we can use to predict certain things.
Before you go ahead, this is where the contention is, and people saying 80 million, others saying a year 30 million. You know, now when you read,
well, we'll come to that. Let me clarify. Let me just clarify. Yeah. Okay, complaints there the coin. Yeah, claim for $30 million, $30 million.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And what I'm saying is that at the before the mandatory settlement conference, or before the jury is empaneled, even though my client had firmly informed me he had no intention of settling this case because he believes that he ought to go to a jury of his peers to clear his name. But maybe let's just prepare our settlement memorandum, be thorough and be reasonable.
Yeah.
And even though he protested, I prepared a settlement memorandum that sought to settle this case for $18 million US. Okay. Now you do settlement conference, papa about court. Now the lawyers just say what he was willing to settle this matter for, and they said $10,000. So honestly,
it's clarification is very, very important. Normally Ghana.
Okay.
Into Muko Drew Hono. And that's initially you have a kind of simple street language, and the damages are not paid around $30 million. And the client and then Anas Kasa say a woman saw pay $30 million, and yes, he can't all pay. In fact, he wants his name to be cleared, and then the priority of going to court.
Yes.
But because of the experience, now unim CB and your material, no client here Anas Kasa and say it would be better and to be reasonable to at least settle on $80 million. And I'll say, no client and us, you did not really agree, but because he respects you as his counsel and as a lawyer, you people ended up around that money, around that figure, which is $80 million.
Oh, yeah, like I said, your lawyer at Awemega, New York.
Oh, yeah.
And also come and Andrew D here.
Yeah, you are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Wemega is there.
Yes.
D here is there. Crow is there. Yourself. Basically, as we are speaking to you, we are speaking to all of them because.
Yes. So, the whole team agreed on that, but he was the only reluctant one in settling the matter. But procedurally, we couldn't go to trial without actually going through to the settlement conference.
Yes.
In spite of his reservations, we still almost cut our demand down to about a little over half.
Okay.
But to our surprise, so $10,000 to end the case.
No.
I want to arbitrate and who said no, some way I'm sure so I can people. So he said basically go and take your gamble in the courtroom. So that's how we ended up going to trial. So to go back to how it ended, so at about 4:50 on Thursday. And the jury brought us in and they told us what unanimously what they had arrived at. But we decided to keep it under wraps because there was a component you multiply 18 million by 5 money do 90 million for a total of about
the plan.
Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah, because
to do that. Okay.
Yes. And then you decided to say back to your board with coming public with the finding of culpability on Thursday.
Yeah.
We ended up leaving that alone. A pursuit of ×5 because almost file emotions be I just say or see a two in terms of that and sana say one way or another I could pursue that ×5 and I say depending on what happens, maybe I between German and Cafe. But at this time, almost my court no say into swore.
Okay. So at this point, my court who say 80 million or almost pentiswo. How many days do they have to file that?
Okay. So at this point, the next thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be a paper a judgment. I just say courtroom in seal better so.
Yeah.
That would take a few days, and then after that, I believe there's a 5-day rule that's within which you can file that motion. So a bay motion, Matisse Binukasa appeal by any appeal in depending on how that motion goes. No,
okay.
We will get a chance. We may get a chance to attempt to get our ×5 of that 18 million, or a big jam and a. So depending on how that motion goes.
Motion goes. So for now,
yes.
18, no, Obintiminka said that is the end of the case. It depends.
No, it's not because hypothetically, so much to grab back 10, we still have the opportunity to go for ×5.
That is 50. Okay.
Yeah, into call extra 50 plus. Yeah, hypothetically, so much to back 10, we can go for another ×5.
You as a Ghanaian and also a lawyer and defending a fellow lawyer who is a journalist. This has been an experience. Do you want to share something with us when it comes to these kind of defamations and how comparing our judicial system back home and in the States? I'm not forcing you to condemn any, but I'm trying to find out from you. There are so many people in Ghana, they don't really understand how the American judiciary works because we are so used to the Ghana style of judiciary whereby things go a certain way. And I would say sometimes very, very slow. And sometimes you need to know something for even things to move the pace you want. In terms of how this case, how fluid it went, and comparing it to back home. I'm saying back home because I am more concerned back home, and especially when Kennedy presented a case which is the same defamation case, and he tried to use that as a basis that what he did was right. From your experience as a professional, I don't want to say what have you learned. What have you? What do you want to share something with us before you go?
Yeah. Me percent me share all the young people in Ghana. Me show them crying say the country is a young country, so I tend not to criticize too strongly. But Oman and young people need to take their rightful position in the country because you know, my only thing is that the young people see that it's wrong or they know it's wrong, they need to stand up for their rights. The country is still young, so I would not be pointing any fingers at anybody. But we do my American. I'm school from high school. I lawyer, and you know I know America very well. And for the past 7 years, I was licensed in Ghana in 2014, and I've been practicing actively for the last 7 years in Ghana. See, I know the problems that we face. I wouldn't. I think it's a systemic problem that allows people to hide in there to sort of engage in certain conduct because democracy, you know, say the system, justice system, if it does not guarantee justice, and then one day, you know, there's going to be a problem. And you know, I like to direct my comments to all young politicians, those who have entered the fray, you know, about 40 and less, you know. Let's not, if we see things that are not right, let's not say because you benefited from it because your party we want to say party we you know, we're going to condone it. We all need to make sure that we are contributing to building a Ghana that we can all live in. And you know, I would like to end on that. The system is not perfect. There are many things that we can do to also improve it. I will not talk about the substance of some of the things, but I also think the judiciary in Ghana is burdened with a lot of work. There are certain things that exist here in the US that they don't have that perhaps need to be implemented. Some of these judges in this country, in the US, are ably assisted by law clerks who help them lessen their burden. But like I said, the young people in Ghana, we need to look at ourselves because I've had judges tell me, say, I've suggested that, and I've had judges tell me, say, oh no, if a young person cry, but office on your who want to leaky judgment, before the judgment is granted. So I will not be pointing fingers at, what happened in Ghana was a travesty of justice. I'll say that without mincing words.
The defamation, now Kennedy Winnie.
Absolutely, because I'm now a solid, which back to the maybe I can say, before a court can pronounce someone as a criminal, no, there ought to be a due process ought to be followed. And I have a publication that is going to come out on this subject in a very near future. For the courts to have called my client a criminal without giving him a criminal trial was a travesty of justice. And the court in New Jersey rightfully classified that as obiter is dicta. It can never be a criminal conviction.
So that
because one of the things
that was how the court in New Jersey, the Superior Court in New Jersey, actually addressed that particular.
Yes, because the will be criminal. The will be criminal. You can bring proof to say the person has been adjudged to be a criminal. You understand? So the Ghana judgment by court jurors and when we brought a police clearance certificate at CID headquarters through the proper normal channels, we got it. It was sealed before we brought it to court, and that was giving more credence than what the judge said about Anas being a criminal, because that is the right thing.
How do you feel as a Ghanaian lawyer, a young Ghanaian lawyer standing before a U.S. judge, making a statement like this from a court in Ghana? I feel it's quite embarrassing. Like I said, our country is growing. We are. The U.S. is 200 and something years old. We are 60 something years old. So I like to always look at things from an optimistic standpoint. I hope that this is going to be a lesson, because Ghana is not. Ghana. Just by dint of even some of your papa no cry amount for Ghana. Ufa Uber Krumwa. I remember say in the middle of the trial, Uber Bia driver and I catch him say, I'm moving Ghana tourism country. Mano is young, but it's a country that we all need to protect and we need to guard zealously. And that starts from the delivery of justice, because no one should have to feel that they need to go outside the four corners of Ghana to get justice. Justice emanates from the people, and we have enough people in Ghana. About judges now, because I saw say recently, judges they are educating people about the jury system. As part of our civic responsibility, it will also go a long way. Along with amending laws to allow more juror participation in different kinds of cases now. Lawyer Evans Salasi Adeka, our 70 Esquire. So thank you very much. And I'll also say thank you to your colleagues that helped. In this case, Andrew De Gea, also Arthur Wemega Esquire, and Aday Crow. I would like to say I really appreciate your time. You've educated us and also made things very clear to Ghanaians.
I'd like to point something else. So there were a few things that I think I glossed over. I think I told you said the threshold that we had to meet in the US was much higher than in Ghana. And in that regard, one of the allegations that was made is that you are a serial killer in terms of multiple Chinese. What was appalling, crying and say, video say proof. Say, proof say, I'll be dinner stand, say, Chinese phone. It was an embarrassment because it do some video be I mean say a prekuna namoya hangi wo onu say unku aboa omo hangi mamudia no so no
and then on be sure say
I mean say no kwemu minti na nka cho say no ana say but it was definitely what he said he was going to produce, and I think that really disgusted the jury, because and it's not something to accuse someone of likely.
Thank you very much for clarifying this. Ivan Selassie Adeka Esquire, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate every single minute you've shared with us here. At least, what I say, we are to rest for now. From your explanation on that's a case we enya end there. The response from the defendant, Kennedy Agyapong, the lawyers, so we're waiting for them to also file what they have to file. Now, I share where it goes from where we are now.
Yeah, and just to clarify, any response, so omono and can I have for times 5 for no?
Yeah.
Omo the assembly at to just say, yeah, no person much. Now, for the sake of transparency, no be any time now, or yes, we be yano na almost them there, judge in better so. The almost them when you dance why, be dinner 18 na yeah, decided say, you know, we have some decisions to make. What I say. Not appeal, but the thing is appeal. No, the difficulty is appeal. No, US no. Answer no, but me appeal. He needs to put the full $18 million down in a bond. Answer no, with me file appeal. No, and you know, we you know, Bob Bryant today. I'm sure say, you know, depending on how that goes. You know, we have the prerogative of deciding say. We have a go for times 5 based on that 18 million if it stands. And I say almost so bad hypothetically and said even 10 and I said 12 krana will still decide to say you know Buana was or bar up with a nice offer so bit canana what union I'm not saying because I told you union or no Kuranadian or no so a lawyer, you know, we'll work on we'll entertain that and decide say okay. ABI, Bijan Mu, I young Copesa times 5, no, and I say, because I change now, but what for times 5, no. Because there are certain other things that happen. There are certain things that also happen that will influence our decision one way or another.
Yeah. Lawyer, we will be on standby, and I know, sir,
okay,
we will come back for more clarification and education. We really appreciate you very much. Ivan Selassie Adeka Esquire, he has been our guest. He is one of the lawyers of Anas Arim Yao Anas. Wachech and Senu Ejujum Emagana for Ehuno Kreno. I really want to say thank you very much to lawyer Ivan Selassie and the other lawyers or counsels that helped him. And I said, I'm about together as a team to make sure Anas has a solid or had a solid legal team backing him. No, Mr. Arthur Wemega Esquire, he was part of the counsel Anas lawyers. No, Andrew here is also part of Anas legal team. No, and Odei Crow was part. And as you know, lawyer Ivan Selassie Adeka on your screen, he was also part of Anas legal team. No, so I'm going to make a quick turn. Maybe a mature pictures and a video in court. Court actually, Anas legal team basically wrote to the court to give them permission to film what was happening in court. We have some short videos to show you about Nyoma Isiwo court and pictures and Adia Gallery Kakra Isiwo court. So after this short break, I'll show you all that happened in court. You're still watching with all due respect extended version.
Onipa amount check na e bounce 1 year on TI wakoto ni nyoma no we den why wonim se bo fruit na wotia e na wo hwe me e na wo ka se be wo ba ma me so boy wo so ka you are part of it
okay
and the Ghana essay you can't say what you don't follow
okay
you don't follow
Agyapong until the court arrives at a decision that incriminates somebody and yet difficult to
who go law school
arrives at a decision that until the court arrives at a decision that incriminates somebody and yet difficult to
who go law school
until the court arrives at a decision that incriminates somebody and yet difficult to
who go law school
until the court arrives at a decision that incriminates somebody and yet difficult to
who go law school
Get it was car, carry the betia. Now we 80 million ska. And I carry the Oscar. We see factory cracker, cold store, fridge be breed, what you can see. Carry the or some president to do betia. 80 and then you see what court to the lawyer church him. Well, uncle law school, me lawyer, you Emma Yajinayati, the possibility, and can say for now the 80 million is just so. the possibility say be 90 million is high, and the possibility say be 60 or 50 million no very high. Kennedy appeal in Kwadia and a lawyer no in the future no so person appeal I say of 18 table so near the two contain near kataso and sanya kohwe appeal no, but for now the Kennedy beba abe den abe perka say bia yente so yate so kra mpo do ebia me de minim na bia etiba bia 14 and also times e de ho nti hwe de besi or say ono client here Anas in decide whether to apply for plus times 5 or times the no nti ene de yentumi kan ho asem say definite, but the sija so ne kan ho asem the sija so ne second Agyapong as we speak now or the Anas ayum ya Anas ka $18 million I was say offe or so ko church run krata bi diaba no problem. Anas ne lawyer say omo de omo twen yate so kra no yetumi te so kra bia $400 $18 million minus $400 monya calculation na Kennedy ntia de aka no inti say yate so kra bia judge no obeso oteso jury no na say 80 million ebia oteso $330 kra inti 80 million minus $330 yenhwe de Kennedy betua eno so asem. Now let's enter the courtroom na yenhwe de see court and a courtroom New Jersey, Kennedy Agyapong any Anas case na and Kennedy he needs to pay $18 million. 18. Remember Kennedy did back court and also offered $9.5 million. Adena Kennedy pen or Anas a double number Kennedy. Na Kennedy so offered $9.5 million if you ho. And Anas I had a double 9.5 million amano. 80 Kennedy they now pen or Anas I had 2 amano. And then there was a Kennedy 2 Anas. Now court in summer a CNA and then Kenya show Mokra Moha Junior. Kennedy Agyapong obetua Oscar and ascend your court Kennedy Fui. Ba omi man kakra no so bi account. Say o se ba omi man $800 million. Onyim $80 million. Now see this when in summer is see your court. Dey bi am catch them. You see this particular guy. Na me catch him say me sue no your friend Dada Fred. This guy many Kennedy work court no or the misinformations be to abontene. My legal team no they have put it together and Anas Kennedy case no ni din be mu in court. These are part of the evidence Anas team no the legal team no edit. This foolish man your friend no Dada Fred me a call. I will make sure say sika obeti okroma no ebe kuna to esika no ebe hunahuna na obenum eduro kunu ho. I am going to sue him. Now Kennedy case no so no this fool obemu. He was mentioned and he is the tool any other foolish platforms Kennedy Agyapong edi misinform Ghana for Anas na one fan kono so Anas the oja na mane koye but I am going to sue because time Kennedy Agyapong they be call court me winning case no sa branch betena TV so betena social media ye twetwa tape sin nego e ka kire wi ase say judge no case so no judge na endi asem ni ye obekọ court akokirem on na be gina abonte beka kire nkofo say oh case no Kennedy ewini until today I want him to know where Anas case no and remember on Kennedy Agyapong na Facebook and otwa ntro mo amunim no mo kan chen say Kevin Taylor say he is going to meet me in court in Massachusetts. I am taking it to him. Me say this time obiya beda because you want to say ya nya ne saa enkwasiafo system anything na make catch boys bi say munya mo kwase na mu di no New York Street ni so a mo hu bebi a mo bedi mo nkoma akọ me de all the nkwasiasem ne ba me so a I will catch you from your hole and make sure the Lord deals with you. Into so become as making sure say on krata do bibia gina na so. Into mun send a message when come the Fred. Where Anas case no, he was part of the evidence. Anas the can case ho. Time a mimi case ne ba no. Sa Dada Fred we o se kwasi ampanyi we etna TV so. Otwa atro eto judge no so. And most importantly, otwa atro eto court no so. Not just a referee, no. Because I was waiting. I got my legal team to compile everything. And he needs to prepare himself for over $5 million. Yes, I am telling him. Some misinformation or best sending in public about a ruling from a federal court. Anything I'm in the picture to sono. Into more munim ni biamon kanjan say me, I am coming to him. Mima a little bit of it right after our case. Because I wanted my team to compile enough. It would that afraid, no. Anas the enemy. Anas share na one for one back or two. By you. Sansa no kafa judge na otina mimi case no so. Misinformation na o katum frame him. Efa meme ho time anasa case no court wobeba American court abechirem. And I will make sure say over $10 million we may sue you. You need to get ready. You need to get a lawyer. You need to be ready for what is coming because you're your boy who we your boy who into say why ready say obe missing for me abedi the Kennedy chebedin kwasema wait for me because I'm coming with a 10 million suit me catch you. So get ready. Now these are some of the things that happened in court. It be ready. We are coming to serve you. Me catch you because we are one person who catch you papa. On can kure penyina when you say koko tua woto wano se boto ase tete abroche kan kwase asem twantro ye ne nkora yesisu a ye bechichire man no wenum bagaya se tratatai kan kwase asem jimi wo de wasem akọ America judge so me share na me ka che me team say they should be quiet. You know my lawyer obechire wo bibi wo America krom hanya wo de wo that afraid. Now my mention they see what court and the pictures and the videos. So this is what happened in court. Kennedy Agyapong, you see during the hearing, no, Okodjunso 10 times. Obano anumunsio Kennedy aye frail, aye mre. Onantia no aye say. Ohundi onfe. Denisu brino. Kennedy Agyapong, you see in the court. Insue otusu baba go no ada no Okodjunso no aba. Sikeni bele. Junso hini aye sikeni bele. Otigana yenkanasem kwasiasam. And the America court, ye piano question now. We ought to be Ghana court, no did judge at them. Near so so, oh, Mr. Kennedy, oh, honorable. America court, pure water near seven. America court, Kennedy Agyapong, pure water near the man is a no, or to down was a cocoa. My catch a Ghana for. Sanko for the Musa so Ghana na, Obano Muda Damono. They are nobody in America, they are nobody in Europe and America. They are nobody. And Akwa Kennedy was suppressing the power chronim, Ghana chronim. And or to down yaman pure water. My mention of more pictures from court today. Maybe I mention a video. This is a year they see what court and Kennedy near na case in the course not OTA. My mention Joe Markesia Kesium, send a bear bloggers in Benya BBD. Kennedy near. Case na course unde ewo eye court. Kennedy Agyapong ete wo no ne lawyer na siri trase omutumu se mu ayedin $18 million eka eda Kennedy tiri so $18 million na no kasa eni nyome bi a oye Otigana ena omu frustrating for omu the court popo for the same case in Ghana we wini Ghana judges a time case na man so we wini obedu America osade sa case na ba say me wini case no Ghana and America court said dabi the na ekoso Ghana no sebio no mu bonkuro. This is Kennedy the lawyer sorry kasa emfa boga yemre ye jujum me ma bloggers. The lawyers na ekasa no e defend no emfa Kennedy so neto no ye pia na hye showdown I am re showdown at court why din judge bi ani wa onim no eye clerk bi ani wa onim no bailiff bi ani wa onim no sa court we enya ho na akoka do you know who I am or do you know me I say yenka do you know me haven't you heard about my name? If you don't take care, you take care. Sadia the bini America court, a bini ho. And to read my lips, and then not Kwanchen, where a superior court of New Jersey, and young Kwanchen court. We any in some course or quarter, may mark gallery nika crack. Akabogan Kwan, a lawyer bakono, you may be offer. Ain't he, and a dahono? A New Jersey Superior Court, Kennedy Agyapong, and Yemiana Shencheno. Ultimin Kasa, Boga Mre. Onim Obia Okako Hunano, Akoya, do you know me? Don't you know I am Akompra Kennedy Agyapong? Unim Semi Free for Sue. I am the MPP financier. MPP financier, Ejuma Ba, enam da pono so nantwie na bo we wo so kwa wi akokokon Kennedy 80 million at that table so also per 9.5 million meme 9 million the other den nantwie na bo table no so no wi a wo so pa akokokon and the anas akoku nantwie abro anas say 80 million nantwie we nantwie na obo we Kennedy isi ebe wi akokon ne kon obi say judgment today say na heaven be you ebeka obiane ne lawyer judgment today no heaven say how ebeka obiane ne lawyer but as a lawyer the court fum na ka go out to war I heaven say how the be no be can judgment today ebe say obiane ne lawyer oto awo so lawyer oh I'm urinating I'll be back fum no afa second door no ewuram now that want to watch your lawyer judgment today say how the be ebeka obiane ne lawyer okay we air court exclusive na me dem mamu no Kennedy Agyapong na to no ai ekoso court wo orkodo 18 million showdown they twe the bo no Kennedy so pa akokokon e the showdown and ye piana kosi enchen momienko enim gallery na ekoso no afera se boga tene kire sa akonwa no so obi atene makotene kire na se emu aye din boga kana no esi so read my lips boga reading lips no say oh so boga kana no esi so I say na say e ya giegu $18 million hit $18 million ya dia pim Kennedy wo so tua ana asekura mpo no me bo besia ana asekura me ho kire me ti besia also me bo besia pe 500k ma me fanya me nyoma anas utieti lawyers nyina wi a 500k dia wan fama media me no ba ku bewu enti boga read my lips and waka lips na sisi no wakotena nchen why say you say ni bra ba me de me yekote beka me kote ye and am the evidence be kiro because when you say ebi mo ho magimi Kevin Taylor boa otan Kennedy we anya me Kennedy asemo Kennedy ni anas na anas e win $18 million they see o court no and am de kiro enya bosremu ka me ma blog is eduane edi Kennedy won sensem part 1 and 2 now ekoso Kennedy Agyapong nuana okase nka onkodi MP no onie ono se court we see the trase e kaba akoko kontwa apetre ne tie si fom Kennedy nuane nie we na not radio so ye Kennedy will contest the 2028 elections onie we see the trase mebra die no wakofa be kakra ya yesi ye nende o me rekoma anas akudi ase no obema Kevin Taylor 500,000 enti Kennedy nuane nie we na okopri seat na ya nto ama no omo nka no kre de otieche o de minim ebia omabusu apenya na sankofo no ebia omo wo eye African market ni bi no ai enti Kennedy nuane so nie we sini trase ye bo 18 million so no we sini trase say titi wo bi ka titi wo bi kire now Niniano still out to me say na why emre eduru baby no Kennedy nuano you can see amabodju kromu nyiye pressure ba this year court season me so me ba be court omo mu defame me me lawyer defame me judge in America I am going to court now let's watch a video. They see our court time and a judge and a catcher Kennedy say he has the right to take the next action.
Okay, so
we are exclusive. Uhuno baby, it's all on this platform. Meboni nyina mo ahwe. Introduce some time, I'm more understanding that this platform is huge. Mashada. Bloggers ni pekakra ko didi. Mitisi yo mo twa ye ko didi. Da be munya would say. Inti court no Kennedy. Mr. Arim Yao Anas. Kennedy lawyers. Anas lawyers. And you could see. Metro, I'll show you the video. And that's what transpired. And this footage, from Anas they were given the permission to film what happened in court. Court season 1. It may be sure what actually happened. Kennedy the Shebusha no Jina Kona Hona, can ask some and say, as some ya carry ye diet yaw, who be ye. This is an exclusive video. Hankwana be uno anywhere else on any platform. Also, who say the first place who say video no. I need to ask my team first if I should go ahead and show the video again. Team. No. I've spoken to Omoteki footage, We got our team to go in there. We wrote a permission and then they gave us the permission to film. Whatever you are seeing exclusive footage. No. We have done that clearance, Mr. S. Now let's go back and watch.
Okay, so the court's decision, if we start at the end, the court is denying the request for mistrial, and everyone can file motions at the appropriate time, and the court will address everything after the motions are filed appropriately and then responded appropriately. Does anyone have any questions about anything?
No, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good luck to everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming off the record.
So there's one thing you need to take notice of. Anas was still wearing nose mask in court. But over Ghana, judge to meet Tinawaka says, Anas saying nose mask na yendi asem. You see the difference. You see how our judiciary in Ghana. How bad some of our judges are. The judge sitting in that courtroom in New Jersey is looking at the facts and evidence before him. How you dress to court is up to you. It is your presentation in court. How the jury will see you. Whether you wear a nose mask or not, at the end of the day, it is your case, the substantive case, your evidence is what they are looking at. Because they are dealing with the law. They are not looking at individuals. And in Oba Krumha, the law itself is blind. It does not look at faces, background, economically where you are coming from, or financial, or whatever. It's looking at the case, the law. They are applying it. So whether somebody is dread, whether somebody is wearing a nose mask, whether somebody is wearing a face shield, what is more important to the jury and the judge is that look at the evidence before you. Look at it and apply the law and let's see. But don't say, Senya Omubu Asemgu Anas so Ghana was that it wasn't the substantive issue Anas had brought to court. Anas trying to defend himself. In Ghana, the Edibuati Anas say yes, nose mask be Anas face mask be. Say Anas say yeah. That means Anas is guilty. This is where we are as a nation. Judge to me say because of face mask, nose mask, because I want you to look in a certain way in my court. If you don't look that way, I am going to call you a criminal. I am going to label you a criminal. That is the danger in our judiciary. And that is what we need to look at. Are we looking at a substantive case that is before us as judges, as judiciary, or we are looking at the characters or the individuals standing before us? And when you go to Ghana, the judiciary today look at the people involved in the case than the case itself. And that is the beginning of our end. And that is what is running this country down. Our biggest problem in Ghana today is that when judges sit in courtrooms, they are looking at the individuals involved, not the substantive case before them. It is all come back now check it. Case I say Anas Lucy against Techi against Agyapong. You will see, say, it is not about the evidence that was provided or was given in court, the judge now or the court case now he's looking more at how to unmask an ass. And this is how they have destroyed Ghana. Anas instructed to testify without mask. The evidence that has been provided, what do you need mask for? This is Ghana court. And this is how they use the law to destroy lives in Ghana. And see, for a very long time, we made the judiciary look like, say, Nyankopon, we cannot question the judiciary. We cannot question their conduct. We cannot even question their biasness. And that is what some young judges who were actually growing up, that is the thing that was in their head. At a point, they felt to say, when I sit on a case, a journalist or an individual does not have the right to even question the way I conduct my court proceedings. At a point, judges were called by the General Legal Counsel about their conduct in court. And when journalists like us sit on TV and on radio to question the conduct of judges, the judges are able to say, hey, but the warrant at all. So that is how low our judiciary has become. And sometimes people forget, those people who defend such things, they forget to say, this same court will be used against them. So when people like us sit and we start to question the credibility of some of our judges in Ghana, it is not personal. It is because of their conduct. It is because of what they do. It is because of the way they conduct themselves and how they treat people before them. I can take you back to Opuni's case. Justice Jackson Hunyuga sat in court. Somebody purged himself. The judge said, let us go and come back. I will punish the person who has purged himself under oath. That is our legal system today. We live in a country where a whole Supreme Court had to go to UK to bring some black book to judge our elections. That is how low our judiciary has come. And it is not me. It is not about a judge sitting somewhere thinking that a young man like myself criticizing their actions and the way they conduct themselves in court. It is not about me. It is about we making sure the system works, making sure the people we have given, and yet that to me say among India somewhere court, those people are doing what is right. Because if you don't have the right to criticize you as a judge, then it means we are giving you the free room, the free will to do damage. And that is what some judges want. They want to be democratically autocratic in Ghana. Listen, some judges in Ghana want to be democratically autocratic. They hide under the umbrella of judiciary to intimidate journalists, to intimidate open-minded criticism, and to intimidate the system. That is the pain that some people think that they can force on us in Ghana. So you get young judges who are so politically ambitious, who think they can do things to please political opponents, to put people in jail. And their conduct, their utterances clearly shows that they are rushing through cases. They are trying to please some people's ego. When we question their actions and their attitude, those judges become jittery and become pompous, and they think they can use the same office that we have given them to intimidate we, the people who have made them who they are. No, it is not going to work. And that is what I have been talking about years over years. Kennedy Agyapong sat on national television to tell a sitting judge live on national TV that you are warned. Warn a sitting judge. The Chief Justice then, Eni Niabua, kept quiet. To date, Kennedy Agyapong did not pay for any of the utterances against every single judge, or the Supreme Court judges, High Court judges, the deliberate disrespect. So you sit in Ghana and some people think that it is personal. They think that the little power that they have been given, they can use that power to suppress we, the citizenry. We are not ready to quail in. And that does not do anything to us. Because what is right, what is wrong is wrong. And we are not going to move away from the principles and then making sure the right thing is done. We know so many judges in Ghana who were even the first 40 in their classes. They were not part of it, but they wanted to go to Supreme Court. They know themselves. Judge Chebafo is one. In his class as a judge, the 40 first student, brilliant student, 40 students who were considered to be smart. He wasn't even part of it. But he, at a point, wanted to go to the Supreme Court. After coming to meet senior lawyer judges because we have allowed, some of us need to understand, when you are given an opportunity to sit in our courtrooms, without due respect, you are not God. This is law. Take your feelings out. Take your affiliations out. Take your political affiliation, religious affiliations. Look at the case critically. Look at the evidence presented before you. Be honest to yourself and your God and the people who have invested that power in you. It is not to bully yourself your way through. No, it doesn't work like that. This is 2025, for crying out loud. It is not easy. You cannot just muscle your way through. Until we need to let the people understand. That is why some of us were calling for serious overhauling of our judiciary. And our judiciary needs serious overhauling, because from what we have seen over the years, what we have experienced, the kind of inconsistencies, the consistency in the inconsistencies in our courts, now in Ghana, we need to check it or this country will go down. And this government needs to take the most biggest, difficult, bitter pill when it comes to judiciary reforms. Serious reforms needs to be done. We cannot have judges who think or who believe or who in their senses feel too entitled to serve the people. It needs to end. I was say a sucha because we been to me to be board the keke near money 25 years. Na kwasi ampenyi bi mbo krono and Korea buy $50 million. Near can't say plea bargain. No, it is not supposed to be like that. Yen to me chigan and ninko to fiase 25 years say or ya hwiase or ya galamse na Chinese needy a excavated jina minimum a tuamena na adia bechi a rebecca court as a Chinese for in ashe na jajatum. That needs to change. We cannot be slaves in our country. No. You, the judges that we have given opportunity and this opportunity to sit in our courtrooms, you are not supposed to turn we, the people who gave you the power, slaves. You can't do that. You need to be conscious about the things you do. Because today, the highest bidder walks in our courtrooms without anything, without shoes, spits shit in any courtroom, and they walk freely. Innocent people plead, get on their knees. We still put them behind bars because there's nobody to pay for them, there's nobody to speak for them. This should tell you something. The judgment Anas Arimiana Anas has gotten. They are very embarrassing about this whole thing was that Agyapong winning defamation case against Anas or Ghana. No, he lifted that same case and brought it to the United States. A jury said that does not really hold. That is a slap in the face of our judiciary. It means that defamation case now, Agyapong winning or Ghana, no, basically the evidence that supports the case, no, is flawed. It means judge or tina case, no, or judge's case, no, that judge is not even supposed to be sitting in our courts again. And I am not saying that all the courts in America are perfect and they are next to God. No, but we are humans. So what the evidence about court with a jury of about 60, now so much to me rubbish a whole judgment. And like the lawyer was saying, when you win a defamation case, when there's a defamation case in another court, that defamation case now we win, it cannot go and defend that defamation case in the next court. Every case is independent, stands on itself, and comes with its own evidence. So we need to get serious. And my message to the president, the new government, is that our court needs overhauling. Our court needs to be overhauled. We need serious reforms. I will say reforming your courts. The leadership, if they are not ready to work, we the people are willing to get people who are willing to work. I don't hate anybody. Yatna Ghana, a whole chief justice, a lawyer went to court and claimed that the chief justice had paid or taken $5 million bribe from a citizen in Yabua till date. This lawyer who basically was reporting his client's statement was haunted. a whole judiciary system was turned against a lawyer who was trying to get the truth out. And you all know, NK say, and in your boy, $5 million. Or send the client. A catcher say, and in your boy, $5 million on her. And the lawyer was just reporting what his client had told him. The lawyer ended up at the wrong side. The whole judiciary was set up against the lawyer. This lawyer went to the General Legal Counsel. The Chief Justice Enin Yeboah then made sure he used the General Legal Counsel led by Sam Okujato to frustrate the system. This is where we are. I spent almost $300,000 to fight Kennedy Agyapong in federal court in America. $300,000. That is how much I spent. 4 lawyers, 2 backup, 2 face lawyers. Almost $300,000. All because I am using the facts to prove to Ghanaians that things happening in Ghana are lies. The politicians are manipulating the system. Some people are using fake news, misinformation, and people are suppressing the system. Almost for $300,000. I won the case for every single journalist in Ghana, every single journalist in Africa. Anas has won a groundbreaking case, defamation case, for journalists in Ghana, journalists around the world, journalists across Africa. But you get the same journalists, some of them in Ghana, ganging up against Anas. With all due respect, let me tell you, I am not here to defend Anas. Anas is human. He has his flaws. If you know Anas has done something or a crime against you, you have the right to take Anas to court. That is what I represent. But as far as I know, the allegations that were posed, the allegations that were mounted on Anas, the things that Anas was being tagged with, in court today, it has proven, or court has proven, say, none of the allegations against Anas, those allegations Kennedy Agyapong made, Anas being a thief, Anas being a murderer, Anas being a serial killer, Anas being a criminal, a co-conspirator, and all that, today in a court in New Jersey, a superior court, they are saying none of those things had basis. That is what I am looking at. I am not here to hold Anas' hand to heaven, because Anas is friend in Yankopon na miniho. Whatever Anas does, I have never been in any of Anas's meetings. My job here is to speak to the facts and what is on paper and what we know. And so you might have your own personal issues with Anas. It's his problem. It's your problem. If you have the legal means to go after him, go after him. But from what I know here, whatever was said against Anas at the end of the day has been proven that he is not guilty of the allegations of being a murderer, a thief, a criminal, a co-conspirator, and all that. At least we know the world knows today that whatever Kennedy Agyapong said was a lie. That is what I'm looking at. So if you have an issue with me and saying, Anas, that you are protecting, I am not protecting Anas. I've not been able to protect myself. How do I protect Anas? But I will defend Anas with the fact, because at least from court, we know around the world that Anas Arimya Anas is not a murderer. He's not a killer. Anas is not a liar. He's not a thief. Those are the basics you need to understand. And anything I make a will say, that Fred now or what Massachusetts may sue $10 million. I want to send a message to you, those people in America. Mochi Maika, Mochi Mufuna, Namotetemoka, Motetam Hokan Kwasiasem. I want to use that Fred to send a message. I never wanted to talk about this because we have moved quite deep. But me the dad Fred, me the number set example. I would take everything he owns in America and give it out for charity. Me na make a chirebo. A dear be a waba America say $1. Meje na me charity. Because I want to set the rules. You per se a clean system, no. So what time will be in chess also can't trot so. That's why when I sit here, I back every single statement I make with facts. Because when you say people's credibility are on the line. And I can't just come sit here and make allegations without having the fact. And anytime I can't say, say you can go to court and I'll come and respond. Like Williams and Nefi Sapon, I have sat here on countless occasions to tell him, go to court. This is how it's supposed to be done. Ghana for Munshia be free. Nobody should dare sit on any TV or radio in Ghana around the world to say Anas is a murderer. You go to jail because there's a court ruling. Anas is a thief. You go to jail because there's a court ruling. You need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that what you are saying, you have the fact. Inti more America no. Sa brantin a friend that afraid no. Na me try my way and me be activate case bi. Na me activate case na. I will make sure the other beton kuredru anu me die wu onye bi okurum ha. Everything he said about the judge who ruled on my case against Kennedy, every misinformation he put out there against the United States court, all the number of times he came on air to lie, we have all the tapes. Na me twen ade bi. And remember American afun nipa. And I will use that afraid as the first goat. Me didn't catch and I'm going to sue for 10 million. Remember Massachusetts. I'll come there. I'm going to sue there, the Massachusetts Supreme Court. I will sue there. And I want you to come and prove in some social media. On say, announce the case, no. Udin any picture, any video copy. They played your videos. You lying to Ghanaians and saying, "You're Kennedy, and Uncle Fosse, and a Kennedy." You were in court. You were part of the evidence. And I can the phone here. Yes, you himself a panel, and I can edit and that's the other kind of say. Some questions, some messages, Democrat, Memma from Macassar, my trouble and three. Memma from Macassar, mana, a double news say, a year quantano, mobile minute, Macassar, man, mobile some Macassar, man, about 1 3. Quasia 4 entity. Mudimun cross some of you, and I would have better crumha, mon per se, mo, mediube coffee, me. Mesebejip me pro obe se quen 5 peswa quen me economic atro mo betena Facebook and na yes ye MPC so and na Kennedy Agyapong no and na Kevin says and it's here and na mo di Jimmy Sam tisa tente wan no se bolaka and na yen hwase and na Kevin says that ye ko china anie me se breaking news e ye court ati ni kua George say me se oba be kire ni nyina wo page ni so when nim se na ntwie ba. And I judge, the judge can say, judge can. Now evidence to what you were saying. Did you have evidence to the things you were saying? Say judge and say, and a court and say, can you prove it? And a judge and say, no, the ATF court and say, yes, judge and say, Kevin Taylor and it's here, it's here, channel. Yadi, Hancock Gogun in Sa, near the Nako Ghana, in City, MP for Momon in Z, and I mean, I just said, Messaba. Breaking news, you are shedding in answer pompo. Yadabo kum and other compo. Onte rhymes no me say we breaking news na wututwa no ya hyehyɛ de se pompo ye beke kan bom ne de abnya wo kon te se kompo next time hu panyina bo se we de ye panyini po monim de ekɔ hu matwi wo mu te se de wonya nipa enna yes the first nie enna ke me hwe sample hwe I say lewa 10 na hye de to enna yes me se ba omia ene MPP for me say Kennedy Agyapong ye ni ne be Kennedy Agyapong say wa we see me Kennedy Kevin Taylor ya see a che no ya see Kevin Taylor kwasi ampanyi bi Kevin Taylor ya see kwa me say judge no enna breaking news me bo bi a kire mo. Breaking news. Judge and says Kevin Taylor and ya the new Ghana, ya son Mukia, ya sono. Kennedy Agyapong, ya catch him say, or no, I say Kevin Taylor and your mere jail, and I judge and I can't miss it, you can't in almost up a kind of court. I only me young, maybe a wicked fucking. But don't be wicked, you know, Yamika crowd womb. Ain't ya tia, Utwinya Hoshe. 10 million, Uber prove actually, I say, I'll be right back. Che, Abuache.
Yo, we are best fishermen. Solo Courtroom. No answer my. I watch it. You will for Belgium fan. It was better Belgium fan. It was two Belgium fan. Why you here? Why round what? Why you here? Why round what? Why you here? Why round what? Why you here? Super why round what? It was for Belgium fan. It was better Belgium fan. It was two Belgium fan. It was the Belgium fan. Why you here? Why round what? Why you here? Why round what? Why you here? Why round what?
Aye, MPP for Mwasa America. Match some adie kitwe bi. Na me say that afraid we. Don't nam den betchere mu adie bi. Se na be ya monum kankan no. Mo go tena TikTok kan kwase asem na mudi kwase asem a. Bube say, hey, thank you very much, team. Thank you. Next time, no mobe asemoba na mode munkwasi a tribe no or some of the ton chain. Na mode mu Jimmy ne ton chain na makabi. Kevin Taylor is here. Oh, but now I say alewa treasure ne to. Yes, breaking news. Kevin, my butt down. Me obi adu me kind of story. Breaking news. Osha be mati. I say Abidjan photo. Me nu I can see ni. Breaking news. Se dia kon dia mama seche mu nchemo. Se sia na me reporters ye free course wo eka. Ye judge ne kan say. Kevin Taylor. Kwasia benguta. Me fra court to na 10 million aba. Dia meye wo krom ha no. Me say meye na epo pompo. Na me be show concept kompo. Next time mu nipa mbebu no. Mema mo time ma Africa kra and Mr. P, Mr. S, it's 6:33 in Ghana. It's 10:33 p.m. I'll pick phone calls. Kakra namapong and then Kiamba. Me mom breaking news. Kevin Sarah, with your munim dia medeba. I'll pick phone calls after this short break. Why? With your munim dia ba and come on, come up with biada.
Yo, we are best fishermen. No look no answer my. I watch it. You will for Belgium fan. It was better Belgium fan. It was two Belgium fan. Why you Why round what? Why you Why round what? Why you Why round what? Why you Supuno? Why round what? It was for Belgium fan. It was better Belgium fan. It was two Belgium fan. It was new Belgium fan. Why you yell? Why round what? 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 Why you yell? Why round what?
Let me try and see a bit more calls. Hello, caller. All right, hello, caller. Go ahead.
Bonjour.
Yes, can I meet you?
Bonjour, Vivian.
Can I meet you?
Now, you can. So, the mama says, okay, so, Syria. That Chief Justice, you know, you know, one, do my part, you know, just 3 days to 4 days, under the Swally case, you know, you are arresting the Pabaku. Cases, the blue, or home president, Mama, was able. So, when you say, Chief Justice, do this, or three and prayer.
But I say thank you very much. Hello, caller. Time no day. Hello, caller. All right, my for caller. Hello, caller. Good evening. Hello. Go ahead.
Fine, Mr. Kevin Taylor.
Yes, sir.
I don't can say the number be a woman. Hey, I now to say be 10 or Ghana, take a Ghana, Kayas America. Among cano correnum discruman mutantro. Well, I am some over on the court. Now, Kevin Pacho Scano, $18 million. Fabra Misican Monamentia say why.
Mr. P, Mr. S, convert the $80 million into cities, mommy. Hello, caller. New Ghana and old Ghana.
Hello.
I beg you. Auntie Monica, go ahead. Oh, I'm so sorry. Auntie Monica, I took you off. I'm so sorry. I was.
Mr. Kevin.
Hello, caller. Kasa meet you.
But because I Japan. But me, Sakis near Abbey, and us, a new America, Canada, we know Ghana. Shishano, even a lawyer more church some way more, because as soon as I movie and Ramkata, the same case.
Lawyer, no, lawyer, judge,
there was a Ghana, and this person was a Ghana, judiciary no in your papa cry, let's say, because I don't know, Mentiasiano.
We sabi be any yedianin, and one no. And one no.
Okay.
We sabi penny for. Hello, caller. Hello. Yedianin, I did a one waka. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Kevin.
Yes, I go ahead.
When you ask me, say, Papa, as soon as they are tears and then you may. Then a Anasuma and Inguasi Astatiba Hariki for Nuntamino. A year and Nijiankasaka, I mean, Shirao, no, you my power, and so Hanquasia for no, we didn't, which you won't be my young papa.
Me say 18 ko. Me say 10 beba. My catch them. We dey why? But I say, all right. Hello, caller. Hello. All right. I'm in for another caller. I think the whole system is jammed. Kevin Thielen is here, and it's a breaking news. Free call Simba, and I judge say, "Oh, what could him?" Now just a review. Near Shishe. Mr. S, Mr. P, $18 million in Ghana cedis, New Ghana, saying, I'm more from Peggy 15.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Kevin Taylor.
Go ahead, boss.
Watara Mahmoud and Kevin. Kevin, a friend is saying, okay, now $18 million is the friend, Nipa no still for best service no pay mun say. That's kind of a say the about PPP Uga can say.
New Ghana.
One said baby and
million. Yeah.
New Ghana, not just old Ghana and they won't me say trillion or say the
yes.
Easy. Friend say next year no, and that's almost mobile 80 million. Kennedy don't turn a Japan any be and that's on turn it any be now and family. Ay, no people most so was can this year no over 80 million from there. That is about 29 by friends by 10 no. But they no credit down and they na bano. Nipa wo abutra here mon kunim die. And now say nya abutra na fe the final no. Otimi di nkunim. Ye de yehwe de de nim na de edoso. Mamencha madam bedimodusu.
All right, thank you Watara. Hello caller. If I call Sacho and then if I call. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Mr. Kevin.
Uh-huh.
Good evening. Alaji Swale Kine Kasa no.
Alaji Swale Kasa.
Mr. Kevin. Be more than 2 years in here. They be a friend number busy.
And on Sakai.
Number busy.
Into one fast number busy be anti cantem.
And na dey me danyamia say nyamia mama anyao. Thank you very much. But
I say thank you. Hello, caller. Hello. $18 million. No? Hello, caller. Good evening. Good evening. All right. $18 million. No? A year. 280 million new Ghana cedis. 280 million new Ghana cedis. And all the bar a year Tete Ghana's kedima a year 2 quadrillion. Yakaza 2 quadrillion on tias ma mention 2 quadrillion. On bidie ka na eje bidie free be kwa ikoboase no akese no. Sa 3000 sikama. And your 2 quadrillion. 2 quadrillion. Kennedy, Sikana Nas, yes, old German, no, New Ghana, 280 million Ghana cedis. 280 million. Oh, the battle to Ghana's Kenima, 2 quadrillion. Tetibidia Kasiano, Sa 14,000. Sikama, Pudio, Bidia Kana, Kobuasi to be quiet. Sa Bidia Kana, Tiada, Bidia Gumano. Sa 14,000. Yes, I can't just ask getting young from Commanders. You're too for a month. Hello, caller.
Hello, KT, good evening.
Good evening, boss. Go ahead.
Yo, me chawe chief for you now. Me kasa figana. Kumasi. Yeah, but KT, me see me inbox. Me say we check your inbox after the show, please.
All right, we'll check.
Why?
Thank you, team.
And yeah. And I do one thing. Say I raise this issue of your constitutional. How much no more education system no more. They will be the first in America or out elsewhere. You know.
Constitutional Review Commission was a committee. No more argument. A month for Edis are suggesting in a comedy and I think at the end of the day we will.
Yeah, because the security system, especially police for near the almost you know, that kind of what wouldn't say.
All right. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure need my power. We actually say Ghana ha judiciary no do be a one etie. Can Agyapong alusi 2 cases in America consecutive times. But I'm person me catch Ghana for say China midweek obi antwa 1810. What the 10 and announce the 1810 obi antwa 1810
all right. It is kind of 2.8 trillion 2.8 trillion no bidie na efri fosu bidie ka na efri fosu ekokwapia no ene anase praso no o bidie ka na efri fosu na ekopraso no saa bidie ka na ahihye bidie tintin na achia bi no saa 18,000 sika puduo ma yase Kennedy nkohwehwe mfa nkoma anas broni American ni broni judge na eka jury for the share of Kennedy as one kind of Caribbean into over $280 million 280 million cities $18 million what about the Ghana's kenema 2.8 trillion and no bidia ka na free eye fosu eko eye praso no de an ye load na achia no on bidia 2000 gum na ye load ni akata so saa 14,000 net waso sikama yase Kennedy nsisari nyina ma nas Kennedy also kopesika yesa bro ni se ne dan na wa ha no New Jersey ni konko no ye beton. Hello caller.
Hello Tabia Wala.
Auntie Monica, go ahead.
Yeah, the person me catch all there sikan waje ma na wode kwa charity won fon kwa Ghana won fon ke develop since a new Ghana new president new law and the Ghana so since ye discipline the party ya start from a parliament no ye the book ground in la discipline the do Ghana because the president will develop Ghana without discipline on your shin.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this. Thank you. Hello caller.
Hello Kevin.
Yes, go ahead.
Boko de.
Bibi aboko.
Yede yanko fona se. We ya salam calling from Atmango Bejanof. Kevin, say one was the ewiase nyina Canada na wa mobo pa o.
Canada on.
Ah wona mobo. Onim. Ona wodi kan twie na ho. Wa matena sidin. Ana okotam ni nua se omaje bantma seat. Asenso boate atwia ye ne ho. Osan ko primaries so a akonta ba omi on so yinahwe. O seat a wuja ho so a NDC yasaje. O party kokroko no osan ko opposition. Enenne anase akoka wachi kra. Nze say ye to obi a over break his record na say say ipa de. Canada name mobile pa wiase nyina.
The whole world.
Canada name mobile put it on record. Yes, the whole world. Canada on name mobile.
Canada so na mobile pa the whole world. Hello caller.
Hello Kevin.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Rao, me di Nyankopon srao. Beef bi wo hopa ato me yere oya broni. Doctor bi friend Dr. Kalitus or Didi John Draman Mahama tem. Ma hwehwe wa sa me di asam we bisa.
Koyeshe Dr. Kalitus na kasa asam na kire no. Aha, enya Kalitus asam ne di no. Hello caller. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Okay. Kevin, so I Ghana de na ye cycle ye chukra ni jandam no. Nipa timi ka asankwa enye no correct. Nipa no aya kan wanta nti nipa no court. Na wansa ja nipa no e wo no oni nam. Abrakwa asema wo kan no enye papa. Because I dey we say ya ma ya bi an politicians no. So ma ja nkoso. No obi abetere radio so. No abeka asem bi enye no correct. O dey ato so na wo to take was supposed to say o no court. Wonya hwe night na asem na spread. Ansa wo ba bu say enye no correct asem no asay awie. So and can be person wo tire ma dey bi kakra wa ha. Sa abroke court no and Ghana court. Kwan be so na ye di asem wo ha. Na nipa betimi akam akọ abroke akodi asem no. Defense be na ewum say madi ma asem wo ha. Minu akonya bi a medi beko abroke me den anya sa akonya no. Ni nti ase wo ho no timpacho.
Kennedy nkwana yesa no odi defend no ho na amfa okọ abrochire court no o se wa win case we Ghana nti o de sa case na ba abrochire be defend no ho na eye New Jersey court case sa de no enye djuma. Hello caller.
Hello.
Mbacho kasa.
Baje from Tahiru Amadu. Kasa Frido yam kwanta.
All right, Tahiru kasa.
Yeah, Kevin, even though was a pa ni djuma pa uboma o my Ghana. Ya mishira pa ya muntu nkwam. Kevin, yes, so you say, you kasa, and this for be tea pa, your mama big tea. Yes, so my mama will say, Ukrofona after December 7th, now my form. Yes, so police were mumble my
omo prison omo because almost here do yes so Kevin so you mama me that's
all right, thank you very much. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Kevin. Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Mpacha best make us from Spain. I made a senior nyamia buama nia papa we epe wan tumianya nti wamomia ni kompa ama mpenemfo a omoka wo Ghana omodi omo position edidi amonfo so no obia be steady now. Intimidamasi.
Obia be steady. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
yes,
hello,
sir.
Kevin. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Figo ni aboso. Nakwa aboso Western region. Yeah. Hey, me dawase pa. Hey, sisi ade ai se boga mo o. Yeah. Boga mo na me the way ya. Boga kene de Agyapong. Boga mo because me the way ya boga gina your friend say box yi mo a. Wa mo ai so o come match pass o. Ne nsa the way ya ne nsa gu no ho. Na boga ntimi nya hwe na ne nua yi nso asiriti ase no me dwene ho amenti ase we ni ade e wo say Ghana media's journalist omudi sua ade because sometimes say udi information bre Ghana fo a Kevin the me den say udi che say evidence bi bia da no kwam nso Ghana fo no enye dey emfa nya asem ada no run for kebu achi ka se bi de fa ho o say Kevin Taylor ya ade bi na ade na Kevin ye no Ghana for nti ase but later no Ghana for beti na se afei na Ghana for ehu dwuma wadi se wodi no kore edi ye wo program na no obi nso pese osua wo nti no hwenkwase aganda ma sa nipa ne de nenam no to viewers
but I say
we no mu ni ade ese so mu di sua ade omu sua ade na bebo wo
o me go Kennedy courtroom they see what courtroom Kennedy
always know and your note had been marked as free and it said judge. In our initial findings, we awarded $18 million and a breakdown, presuming $5 million, actual $5 million, and punitive $8 million. With your verdict and your note, your jury service in this case is complete. I truly have enjoyed working with you. You've been an attendant jury. Thank you so much for your service. You are discharged.
Defendant Clark can't deserve
Get out of my cat. And your note has been marked as free, and it said judge. In our initial findings, we awarded $18 million and a breakdown, presuming $5 million, actual $5 million, and punitive $8 million. With your verdict and your note, your jury service in this case is complete. I truly have enjoyed working with you. You've been an attendant jury. Thank you so much for your service. You are discharged.
Defendant Clark can't deserve
and your note has been marked as free, and it said judge. In our initial findings, we awarded $18 million and a breakdown. Presuming $5 million, actual $5 million, and punitive $8 million. With your verdict and your note, your jury service in this case is complete. I truly have enjoyed working with you. You've been an attendant jury. Thank you so much for your service. You are discharged.
All right, hello caller. Into the CEO court no judgment.
Kevin Badutela.
Kasamitio. All right. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello. We've lost the caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening. Go ahead.
All right. Hello, Kevin. Yeah, I'm calling from Finland.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to contribute to due to this case that Anas Armia has won, It's we just say congratulations to him, and then we just need to also help our judicial system to, work better. As the lawyer said, we are a young nation. We all need to contribute to the development of Ghana, but that doesn't mean people can just abuse power and just do what they want. That's what I have to say. Thank you for the good work.
Thank you too. Thank you. All right. Okay. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Jawla from Tamale.
Jawla Kasa.
You see, Mr. Kevin, is this Agyapong issue is a lesson to Ghanaian journalists, daily guide and then daily graphic. Sometimes they do lie to people. So now it's a lesson to them. So thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you too. I like it when you make it straight. Precisely so. I like it. Hello, caller.
Okay, but Kevin, if we now all your debia and then about one and down for number 20, be about putting flashing kakra.
I'm flashing kakra. I'm flashing. I'm flashing kakra. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Usu Kennedy no sika wunya ya no wantimi am Hassan na Abdallah police wa ma me pap.
Ma mention Kennedy case no. Kennedy be sue me 9.5 million, right? Ma mention munchiro.
Katra ana so ma me 500 o.
Yo man. Me Kennedy case man just kebi o Kennedy o. Kennedy be sue me for 9.5 million dollars. Then after my lawyers made the case, it was upon Kennedy to prove say because Kennedy amending the case no. And I'm prove check Kennedy say the case no other no sebi nyanse bi enim in the court in Bontungu. And a court no check Kennedy say or ma Kennedy 30 days. Or ma Kennedy two options. Either say obeba on one kasa baba retract the case no or baba ye free court. And now say me to me I go ahead. Now I use what we call rule 11. And think I may apply for rule 11 and Kennedy sika na anka all pay free me 9.5 no. And think after I think 60 days or 30 days, no. So Kennedy, nya kukudro ambe redraw case, no. Anka ncheri asi nyina say case no deba nyanse ni ma. Anka metumi apply rule 11, nanka maje 9.5 million won ho. Kennedy one redraw case now to the 29th day was a day 50. No, I think it was 30 days. I think on the 28th day was the 29th day, no. And I'm a lawyer friend, me catch them say Kennedy Agyapong, I redraw case, no. Intika Kennedy a withdraw case within 30 days there and can me apply rule 11 and can make after the 9.5 million and can make just ask no na masama ne tua me lawyers damages no inti Kennedy man just ke bia no Kennedy so niska hello caller okay but I say all right thank you na obi ka say o kai me answer na me pon no say Ghana de yentumi nko guy we oyewi ye friend no Williams Anefi Sapon Boa be hunu baby or no tena meeting bia so be gina baby a oye kromfo na damfo ne Amiyadebra or ne feedi Amiyadebra. He is the person who is taking care of Amiyadebra like a dog. Amiyadebra ako using the platform and all the promote criminal way. Amiyadebra know this boy has nothing to his name. Amiyadebra is using his platform. That is his platform na enko for Sukrana Andrew Togono. Amiyadebra and the concept tete napkin. Usha na aso yare e de to Sudan for ba so ba Ghana. Ne ho langa se de de hu grass so ewo Yugoslavia. Amiyadebra kromfo our him boy we ye no Williams Anefi Sapon. Or the John Muhammad Din Akobokro no me say or say or a lawyer or a doctor on fan certification in Bachelor ewo TV so on social media 2 minutes. No nka say me law me doctor me no me certificate che say me doctor ni. Spinkters Medical Center no omo kunipa oho boy we NSC ene dia oboa makache nipa na Spinkters Medical Center Daniel ne dia say ompam no emfiri ho boy we oyewi wa obehia no bebia obehia ni bia no kache ne say oyewi Amiyadebra is the one using his platform to promote this boy's criminality. Amiyadebra in the concert napkin ohwe no ho ahwe ni sisi I say superku Otigana come dino ni yema ya kwatre se de kotre de free Sudan on nam Ghana na all portraiture go for already our platform bi oboa sa boy we na tua ne ka Amiyadebra is one of the most hungriest long neck lazy ass skinny shrinking dick fool out of Ghana. Origin call for sika post in your mano. I'm your Debra and Quaji boy with certificate no post on the page in so. I'm your Debra and the see green said the Ori champion fee. This boy Williams and nephew Sapon is a criminal. Cockdam, ewo achimota, makacham se mebeye dwuma bi wo ho. Nipa be 7 are involved. Emaka ho, ye de omo nyina e ba ba kiremo what they are doing and the criminality they are committing. Mechiremo achimota Cockdam. Yeah, your team know they have done a thorough work, which is good. They have done serious work. Inti, I got 3 minutes in my pong. Memo be a review, no. Ne mame, and ne papa ni papa ye krom 4. Ne papa on kwa sorry biem we jai sa sorry and they were kote a school bi or chama be kan school no asam chiremo. Papa we oye wi or kan ho na de ban e wi anko sika. Mame we ono so a Williams and nephew Sapon. Ne mame nie. This woman too is a criminal. Omo ne bo krono no. Akwawe enye ne nuanom nyina nie ye o miensa bi a mefa mbekire mo my team they are getting the rest of ne nuanom no pictures na be akire mo ne nuanom nie one omo ene bokro no Williams and Efi Sapon eyewi oyekromfo me say ombra social media Facebook TV so na on for 2 minutes pembeka so on for John Mahamadin entina team meeting mu gold meeting mu nka say John Mahama na damfo na the John Mahamadin akwaje contractor omo for sika bi man no own defraud Dubai fo bi and 2 offer the certificate emekire ewo TV so say oye real doctor me din a me ma me papa de to me a ema wo mpem asem no Kevin Ekobedu Taylor and the Ghana fo nyina ehu no kure no ye nyina yehu de esi Kennedy Agyapong lose case against the Anas defamation case Anas the botia Kennedy wa America no $18 million and counting the ehwe no wan hwe bedu $90 million no until we are waiting to see say Anas be activate $90 million a year action na a $90 million action. So far, the Kennedy Eddie Anasika $18 million. Odoba Ghana Sikima 280 million Ghana cedis. Odoba Tete Ghana Sikima 2.8 trillion a year Ghana cedis. Sa Sikano opes uhun physicala. Bidieka a free a year fosu echo a year dien a year praso. Sa bidieka sa 14,000 ayashe sika wum. Yasi onfani nyina 14,000 of us asking nyina koma Anas Arim Yao Anas. We will meet tomorrow. You better discuss Ghana. You take care of business. My name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor. We're live on all platforms. God bless you. God bless me. Cheers and good night. Abuache. Gigim.
Yo! We are best fishermen. No, no answer my Abuache. You will for Belgium Fund. It was a Belgium Fund. It was 2 Belgium Fund. Why you why round what? Why you why round what? Why you Supuno? Why round what? It was for Belgium Fund. It was a Belgium Fund. It was 2 Belgium Fund. It was Belgium Fund. Why you why round what? 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 Every papa no, what one is the motto? 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 Why round what? Why you why round what? Where you mind,